Khabib the Eagle Nurmagomedov is truly a fighter of legend, stoic, humble, and a savage in the octagon. Many dominant champions have come and gone, but none have made quite a statement like Khabib. He quite literally smashes his opponents, crushing them with insurmountable pressure, making even the most battle-hardened fighter look like they're amateurs who don't belong. Combine harsh life in the Caucasus Mountains, a legendary world champion as a father and coach, and a faith that doesn't tolerate vices, and you have a recipe for an extraordinary athlete. In this video, we will break down the stats and the science behind Khabib Nurmagomedov and what makes him so dominant. Khabib stands at 5'10", which is the same as the lightweight average, and has a 70-inch reach, which is 2 inches shorter than the average. Usually I would talk about striking first, then grappling, but if you've seen even a single fight of Khabib's, you know grappling is where he truly shines. He is a 2-time combat sambo world champion and has a black belt in judo, so no surprise in his choice of fighting style. He is currently tied for 9th most takedowns landed in UFC history at 59, tied with Curtis Blades. Khabib also has a takedown average of 5.35 per 15 minutes, which is more than a takedown every 3 minutes of fight time. With a takedown accuracy of 47%, this means Khabib attempts more than 11 takedowns per 15 minutes. Without a doubt, Khabib is a dominant wrestler. He prefers to wrestle his opponents against the cage rather than in the center of the octagon. This preference is not a common one, but it works for him. He excels at several different takedowns and picks and chooses the ones that work best for the opponent at hand. For example, in his fight against Abel Trujillo, where he landed 21 takedowns, almost every single one was done by Khabib getting behind Trujillo with a body lock and lifting or dragging him to the ground, or occasionally arching for a suplex. Khabib also particularly likes his low single leg, and when I say low, I mean low. He sometimes shoots for them from crazy distances, like against McGregor, and often uses the single leg to transition to a trip or a double leg. Khabib's effectiveness comes from his relentlessness and commitment to his takedowns. He chains takedowns expertly, switching flawlessly from one to the other. One of his favorite transitions is from attempting a hip throw to the inside leg trip. One particular and unique entry Khabib uses for takedowns is a flying knee. Khabib's ground game is just as, if not more impressive than his wrestling prowess. He is relentless and crushing with his pressure on the ground, and is very apparent in the faces of his opponents. His ground control quickly became legendary in the sport, and it wasn't long before other fighters began emulating some of his techniques, such as the Dagestani handcuff. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, it's a colloquial name given to Khabib's wrist control when he has top position, which prevents his opponent from being able to frame up on their arm. Along with the Dagestani handcuff, Khabib likes to figure four his opponent's legs, similar to a body lock from the back, which keeps his opponents from being able to sit up or shrimp out. Khabib also has a strong submission game, having 10 submissions on his records, and has a submission average of 0.7. 3 of his 4 UFC submissions are by rear naked choke. The majority of Khabib's striking happens on the ground, with his smashing ground and pound. Khabib has a significant strikes landed per minute stat of 4.11 and a striking accuracy of 49%. With a significant strikes absorbed per minute of 1.65, Khabib has a large strike differential, third highest in lightweight history. He also has a high striking defense of 67%. Using superior ground control with techniques like the Dagestani handcuff, Khabib expertly controls his opponents to land devastating strikes. Khabib is an expert at making sure you stay still while he punches you in the face. Moving on to Khabib's stand-up game, there isn't as much to talk about as with his wrestling. At the start of Khabib's UFC career, his striking was wild, aggressive, and lacking technique, but it accomplished its primary goal, which is to close the distance and wrestle. As Khabib continued his time in the UFC and at the American Kickboxing Academy, his striking has improved dramatically. Although he's still not a standout striker, it does the job, and Khabib has had success with it. Since his opponents are always wary of takedowns, Khabib likes to feint a level change and come up top with a right hook. This is what knocked down McGregor in their fight. Khabib also knocked down Tavares with a leaping jab and proceeded to end the fight by TKO. As dominant as Khabib is, it might be difficult to imagine that he can further improve, but he himself speaks often about how much he learns and evolves from one fight to the next. We look forward to seeing him fight again, and how the rest of his career will play out. Thank you for watching our video. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for future content.